Oh my goodness.
What it do?
What it do? What it do? Let me adjust my microphone here. Alrighty, guys. Yes, sir. We're back. I told you guys we'd be back. I told you we are on top
Yes,
of the
sir.
podcast. On top of it. Welcome back to the 7 on 7 podcast, guys. Episode number 24 now. You know the fucking deal. Today on the show, man, we was talking before we started filming. It's been almost 3 years since I've seen him. It seems not even acceptable that it's been that long. But I have my boy Koomasae, formerly known as KJAY. Man, how the fuck have you been, bro? Oh my God.
It's a pleasure to be here,
My
man.
man.
24.
My man.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you continuing on your path, doing what you've been doing,
Yes, sir.
growing, excelling in everything that you do.
Appreciate that.
You know, I see it, I feel it. We, like you said, it's been a minute. We here. Hey, I'm grateful to be here, real talk. I appreciate you having
Man.
me.
I'm stoked to have you on the show. Big time, big time. So, for the people, let's give everybody a little bit of a background of kind of yourself. You know, people who might be familiar with you or new listeners or people watching the show. Kind of give a little synopsis of who you are, where you grew up, what you do. You know, nice little short and sweet, and we'll dive in.
Yeah, so I'm Koomase, like he said, formerly known as KJ. Me and Gage, Seventh Heaven, we go back.
We go back,
since
bro.
high school. So that's how
We
we
go back.
connected, man. And I remember at one point you even offered to help me out, manage a little bit.
Yeah.
We
Oh
sat
my
down,
God.
talked about that.
Man,
But
that
yeah,
shit was
just
weight.
the musical journey. You've seen it from the
Yeah.
beginning. But yeah, now it's really been my whole life on this journey.
Yeah.
But actually recording and putting music out, you've seen it all.
Yes, sir.
From the SoundCloud days, and now we've changed the name to Koomasae. That's Koomase.
Yes, sir.
We on all platforms now, doing it consistently, like we said, like we talk about, and just putting our all into it, man. Representing Anaheim, California too. You know, we putting Orange County on the map. Everybody, you know. No disrespect to LA, but we doing our thing out here too, and it's nice to see, man.
Man, that's so
Yeah.
funny that you say that. I was just telling that to actually Adrian, the last guest I had on the podcast, and I've said this in general.
Yeah.
Like, I feel that OC in particular, like over the past maybe like 2 years, and just like continuing to go in the future, is like becoming such a hub for like artists, creators, designers. Like, it's kind of taking that LA kind of notion and all the, you know, lifestyle and the creatives and just the whole aura of LA, and like OC is now kind of becoming that in a way. Like, so many of these people that I meet or artists that I hear of, or like anything is like, oh yeah, I'm from OC, or like I'm from Anaheim, I'm from Santa Ana. Like, I'm like, yo, that's dope. Like, I love to hear that.
Way also, like it's a little different. It's similar. We not too far from LA, but I feel our location, like, man, we can go down to the beach and the mountains and LA, like, you know, in 45 minutes to an hour and a half ish, depending where you at.
That's what I'm
But,
saying.
like, I feel the location also inspires the art.
For sure.
What you doing. So
Big time.
like, yeah, there's light being shed, and like you said, I've been seeing it, and the people like that are around me and their journeys, I'm like, oh yeah, we're expanding, we're growing.
Yeah.
The outreach is starting to really impact.
No, that's
Yeah.
big facts. Like, I really love to see it. So you've grown up in Orange County your whole life.
Yeah, Anaheim my whole life.
Anaheim your
man.
whole life. Born and raised.
Born and raised from the soil right here. This is my turf.
He said, "This my turf." So I'm also curious too. The musical background. You know, like, I always feel there's some sort of, with any sort of creative, I feel like there's usually like a root. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, what would you say that seed was? Was there a member in your family who was musical? Was it just kind of something that you came about? Was it records? Was it just you was like, I want to do something like this? I'm impacted by music. Was there an influence? You know what I mean? Like, I'm always curious what the origin is of why you do what you do now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And where did that come from?
Right. I feel it's rooted in my DNA. I feel honestly since since I could remember, before I knew how to spell correctly, man, like I was writing songs. You know what I mean? I was writing Alvin and the Chipmunks remix. Like after watching the movie, I was trying to write a song for that. You know what I mean? Like before and after school, me and my cousin Destiny, we writing music, performing it on Christmas, Thanksgiving, like, you know, holding the controller or something. Like, so ever since I can remember, like that was my main outlet. But I was just a creative kid, like I said, since I can remember. So now we doing the apparel, you know, KOOMS, keeping opulence on moving simple.
Yes.
But it's more than apparel. It's like a way of life, just valuing moving simple. When life is hectic, when you have a lot going on, just move simple, and then it's simple. Everything else around it, you know what I mean? You can collect it and just, I also like to preach like consumption, filtration, and expression.
Yeah, that's your thing.
That's what I also feel is a healthy cycle and what represents the brand, the enterprise, myself. But yeah, we just out here
doing it
and doing it,
doing
man.
it.
Like,
and because I'm part of the reason because it's been so long, so that's why I was telling you before we started rolling, there's like a lot that we have to catch up on, and I have a couple questions, one on the KOOMS whole side, but also I'm curious behind, so if you guys have been listening to my music for a while or have been following me for a while, you have seen that me and KJ have been in the studio. We've worked together. We've created together for a while. And, he was on a couple projects that I did in a couple songs, and it was KJ. So I'm curious of what was the transition and why did you choose to transition from KJ to Koomase? Like, because I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm looking at this as you as a person, and for me, that decision seems to be due to like some higher elevation, or like you felt like you needed to evolve, or like something needed to,
That's exactly.
You know what I mean?
Is.
I'm just saying that because like I know like.
That's exactly what it is, man. I was just in the period of my life of an evolution, but a major like transition into a higher self.
Yeah.
And I was realizing just things that were going on in my life, experiences, and I had felt it. And like I was working, KOOMS came about. I was actually working with a kid I went to elementary school with, and I had known him since like kindergarten. And he was just like, "Yo, KOOMS," and he called me that, and I was like, "Wait, hold on, you know that?" And then right then and there, I had been brainstorming, names like daily, all the time, just brainstorming. What is the enterprise? And he when he said KOOMS, it just clicked. I was like, that's it. But that's when I was like, all right, let me have an acronym for the enterprise, for the brand.
Yeah.
But that's just a little backstory. I don't really even talk about that.
Yeah.
But,
no, I was just curious because like it's a big deal as an artist if you're gonna like go as a name and then you decide to transition into something else. Like that's no small deal. Like it's a big deal because you're taking on a rebrand, you're taking on a new image, or elevating an image and having to do certain things to like really put in place like, yo, this is who I am now and this is what it's going to be. You know what I mean? So like there's got to be thought behind that.
Exactly. So the enterprise KOOMS came before I even changed my name. But like we always planning everything out. Like you said, there's something behind that. And then I had gotten my ticket to go to Jamaica. I felt like a solo trip, of just for my soul. I felt called to go to Jamaica. So I went out there and I had this transition, the death and the rebirth in mind. And then while I was out there is when I really like sat down and figured out, okay, Koomase, and it's gonna be spelt how it is.
Yeah.
Because for those that know me, my name is Koomase. That's my birth name, but it's spelled differently.
Yeah.
I did some like Tupac, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, it can't get any more authentic than Koomasae. That is who I am.
Yeah.
That's who I've always been.
That's facts.
So yeah, as I transitioned into my higher self, came back from Jamaica, and while I was out there, I experienced like a candle lighting for someone that had passed. I was just getting so many, everything that I had put in my mind for this transition, the death and the rebirth, which we also created an EP, a project. It's more than an EP. It holds weight almost like an album, honestly.
Yeah.
I put one record I thought I would never release, the last one on there, like it's still probably one of my deepest records that I've created.
Yeah.
But that really just shows my transition, and the music, I say everything. So
yeah,
that's where I lay the story out.
For sure. I'm also curious too, and this might be like a deeper question, but I'm trying to think how I can word this. Was there the sudden, I wouldn't say sudden because I don't know the process or the journey of it, but like this journey of higher elevation, this journey of, filtration, consumption, expression, like this kind of whole thing what you're about now, and like this, I see how you, move on Instagram, and you're very holistic and very, all about your health and organic and, all this type of stuff. And I'm curious, was there like a moment or an experience in your life that happened, or was it like a personal kind of choice that you were like, I want to move into maybe like elevation? I want to put this new mindset into my life. You know what I mean? Because like, or have you always been like that? Like, what was like the switch of like becoming this,
I feel that has also been enrooted in my DNA, man. Like, I've always wanted to be the best version of myself, no matter in anything that I was doing. Like, I want to excel. I want to grow.
Valid.
But just as I began to experience things in life, and like as a kid, even when I was young, I was like, man, I don't want to eat McDonald's anymore. Like, that's bad for you.
Yeah.
You know that
valid.
that don't even inspire.
Shit is not good
like,
for you.
You
Shit is
can
not
leave
good
it
for you.
out forever.
Yeah.
Like, so I was like, man, I don't want to consume that. So I guess I always had some awareness of like, what am I consuming? What, I've heard there's things sprayed on your apples, wax. Like, I've heard this stuff, and it sat with me. I thought about it. I think about it.
Yeah.
So as I just grew, I cut out like red meat, and then I even tried going not even vegan, but plant-based.
Yeah.
I didn't try. I did go plant-based for 2 years, but I still consumed honey because honey is just bee throw up. So like, why would you not consume that? And it's good, and it's
honey,
good
bro.
for you.
Oh my
like,
God. I love
you know
honey
what I mean?
so much.
So come on.
God, I
But
fucking love honey.
yeah, I'm always doing a trial and error. Like, now I eat chicken, but I've put myself through a week of eating raw vegetables and fruit.
Yeah.
How do I feel? How do I feel in the gym still? Like,
Yeah.
I'm
okay.
just being aware of like trying different things, consistently learning, educating, unlearning. And I'm just hungry for knowledge, hungry to excel, hungry to feed my family, what I mean, and just grow, like,
man.
So that's really what rooted me, and then connecting with nature itself, that just rooted me to life as a whole, like, and growing stuff myself, learning how to actually sow and plant something and reap the fruits in the physical, and it's parallel to life.
Yeah.
In so many ways. But
man, I agree. And you said something just a second ago that I believe in very heavily, is like which I think has a deciding factor in the outcome of your success, is the drive and the want for consumption of knowledge, and the learning and unlearning of things, and just trying to figure out and move and decide how it is that you want to move. You know what I mean? And you only do that by trying, by failing, by learning and unlearning, and then doing this whole process. And I love that because I really do, like, so heavily believe in that the want to consume knowledge for yourself is a really big deciding factor in your outcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because only you can do that. Someone's not going to teach you. Like,
Right.
if you want to learn or do this or elevate yourself in a certain level or to a new level, a lot of the times that has to be done by you.
Right.
And you have to consume or spend the time or whatever that is to get to that level. And, man,
and I felt you also had to be aware and see where things are coming from, because there's so much out there now. There's so much out there.
I was just talking
man.
about this with my parents last night.
Like, you really have to see where it's coming from and double check your sources and have your own view on things without influence.
Yes.
Like, that's what I talk about with my people. Like, sometimes you had to really think of it like without influence from my family, without influence from my friends, from outside media. You have to break things down and be aware and feel what it is and where it's coming from, because we're bombarded nowadays with so much.
I feel that so heavily. That is, I literally was just talking about that with my parents last night. It's the overwhelming amount of information, or facades, and just all this bullshit, really, that man, you have to be able to filter that out and break it down and see it for what it is, like you're saying, because you can get caught up in that so quick, and then it's so hard to get out of that. And it's like, I think it's a skill, like, especially in today's society, like, it's a skill to be able to consume all of this different shit from all of these different platforms or sources, but then being able to sit back and decipher, okay, I'm aware of what I just consumed, but is it right? Is it this? Do I believe that?
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know if anyone is really teaching that. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That should be taught in school, because if you think of these kids now, man, they're growing up with a phone at their fingertips. At what age? Very young. Like, depending on the parents.
That's what I'm saying. Look, you go out to a restaurant, these babies have iPads, and they, like, operating them like they know how it works.
But no one is teaching them how to filter anything. So, I mean, unless the parents are, really is on the parents. But
yeah, I agree.
In this day
has a lot to do with
has
a lot to do with parenting.
Man, but even adults, man, you see people are consumed in everything. Like, I was talking about it with some of the homies. We all have our addictions, our vices as well, but you gotta learn how to create some good addictions. You have to weigh out your vices. Like, is this connected to my moral compass? Is this serving me? Like, what does this do?
Yeah.
Like, everything has an effect. There's a cause and effect to everything. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that goes to a point that I've preached for so long, is it's having a high level of emotional intelligence. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have a very high level of emotional
intelligence.
You have to, bro. Especially
or artificial intelligence gonna whoop your ass.
That's what I'm saying. Like, especially in today's world, bro. Like, it's crazy, all the stuff that we deal with and that we. It's just it. God, this topic is so weird because it's such a juxtaposition, because it's like the best time to be alive because of the opportunity and the resources that we have. And just think, like, all the distribution basically that we have is free, majority of it, which gives us the ability to share our creations, to make what we want to do a reality in a way that's never been able to, been done that way.
Right.
But then it's also the flip side of there's so much of it, and you don't know really what is what.
Yep.
And Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
It just
it's
I
just
think about this shit all the
it's
time,
that
bro.
black and white.
It
That,
is.
you
It's the
know,
right and wrong. It's the
yeah,
is this what I want to do? Is this not what I want to do? Do I need to separate? Do I need to not separate, disassociate, or associate? Like all of
yeah,
these things that comes into like your personal
yeah,
as you as a human being and what you're gonna choose to have, your energy, spent towards because it's
right.
crucial. Your energy is expensive.
Yeah,
Like your energy has a
energy and
cost.
exactly energy is everything.
It's everything,
Really.
bro. It really is. Like, and I know I don't have to tell you about that. I know I'm super big about just the energy of what is around me all the time because that affects the outcome of your work.
Most
If you
definitely.
don't have good energy,
Yeah.
and that could be mental energy, it could be physical energy, it could be creative energy, emotional and whatever
Yeah, I feel
whatever of
all of
whatever,
it comes together, really.
dude.
Yeah, it all comes together. It's all connected.
It really is. So I want to ask you, and I kind of want to dive in to KOOMS. So you have KOOMS for those who are watching or listening, or
Yeah,
follow Koomasae here. Know that he is KOOMS, the owner of KOOMS.
yeah.
Keep opulence on moving.
Simple.
Yes,
Yes.
and can you explain again? I know you said it briefly in the beginning of the show, but can you explain again the kind of the meaning of KOOMS? So like
So
I know it's keep opulence on moving
keeping
simple.
opulence on moving
Simple.
simple. Opulence, if you don't know, is great wealth or luxuriousness, but it's having that value on moving simple. So just valuing moving simple through life and not complicating it. Like I said, when you have so many obligations or people to tend to, and life gets busy, um, if you simplify it for myself, I find it to be smoother to move through life. So that's the acronym that we put on it. That's what the motto is, the lifestyle. And it's more than a brand, more than an enterprise. We want to have community events. That's community, KOOM unity.
Yeah.
So bringing the
Very on
community,
brand. Very
right,
on
man.
brand.
I love it's divine how things fall in place. It takes patience, man, because I wanted this to piece together like 5 years ago. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's about that connecting like where your mind is, your actions, and your spirituality. Like I feel it all aligns when it's supposed to, not when you want to. So all this was aligning, and I began creating, just garments and like now I want KOOMS everything. You see I put it on the water bottle. I put it on everywhere I can to really represent that and remind me how to move through life. And we have this perspective drop. Perspective is everything, and kind of like what we're talking about right now. It's like an eye exam, and we just put perspective is everything on there because it really is. How do you look at it? Good, bad, black, white. Just your outlook on everything is what your life is really. So
I couldn't agree more.
yeah, that's what we're building here with KOOMS. And there's so much to come. Like I said, with building the community and just connecting with other people, other partnerships, and I feel because a lot of people, man, they're starting businesses or doing things. I feel go all in. Like if you're doing it, if you like, what I mean, I'm just a firm believer, like going all in, and I bet my whole life on it. I really will.
Yeah.
I invest my whole life into it. You know what I mean? And like from having your paperwork to be legit with it.
Yeah.
Just so that's what we doing. We're continually growing, expanding. And like I'm just grateful for the team coming together, man. Like you can't do anything alone either, bro. Like I said, it's a community, bro. From my homies to photographers, videographers, your relationships with other artists, like everybody plays a part in it, man. I'm inspired by everyone, everything. And yeah, we just creating, man.
And that's a inspired by everyone and everything like in your environment is so crucial to the quality of your work. You know what I mean?
Right.
I say this every time, bro. Every episode literally connects. Last guest, said, one of the biggest keys that he would tell anybody to, how to be successful or to like, do what it is that they want to do is to build a team around you that is willing to work, that is willing to, that is on the same page.
Right.
Because like you said, no one does anything alone. It's impossible. Like you have to outsource, and you have to have people that have resources and skills that you don't have to make what you want to do possible.
Right.
But choosing those people is a very crucial process, because a lot of people will want to jump on that train because they like what you're doing, but they may not like that it's you doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then they get into it for the wrong reasons.
Right.
And then that messes up everything that you have.
Yeah.
Because now you gotta be like, oh, I got a bad apple here now.
Right. Back to what we were saying, like you got to see really where it's coming from. Sometimes that take time. Like it does, and back to the trial and error. But yeah, like you can't do anything alone, man. And the people in your team, like they, man, for me, they're sometimes, their ideas are better than mine. Like,
yeah,
and you want that. You want like, oh, bro, I needed that. Everyone is helping me elevate, bro. Like, man, none of it is possible. Like the vision, and then when you align with those people that are right there, that put in the same work, that are as passionate, as driven, like, you know what I mean? It's exponential from there. Yeah, it's exponential once you collaborate and go all in together.
Man, that's what I'm saying, bro. And I have to say it because I wanted to bring this up because I had just remembered it, bro. I saw you working all the time with JP.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
I have not seen that guy in so long.
Shout out JP.
JP, dude. Is it recording films? My guy, JP. If you're listening or watching this, bro, shout out to you. I hope you're doing well. I fucking have lots of love for you, bro, for real. But I know I got love for you for real. You a good dude. But so he does basically all of your video work, right?
Locked
like
in now. I'm about to
say
meet
he's
up with
like
him after this.
Oh,
man. Like come on. Man, we locked in. I was telling him last time I seen him, man, on his birthday. Like this is what I had just meditated on, prayed for. Like not to just have a videographer, someone to shoot music videos with, but like a real relationship with someone that can understand me, someone that I'm connected to, and they know how to put my art into their craft and put it out into the world. Like, and it's I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that, man.
I know, but that's so. I remember when I first saw that you were working with him. I was like, wow, what a small world. How did you guys get linked up?
We actually met through the homie Luke. He had this marketing event, and he was there, and that's how I also met the brother Guapo. He shoots like film. And he's been shooting most of my content as well. Them two. So yeah, he had that event and we connected there organically. That's one thing too, man. I love when things are organic. Like you said, like the plants and all that growing, like and the food, but relationships as well, like an organic relationship, where you could
it's authentic.
It's authentic.
It's authentic.
Man.
There's nothing. There's no sugarcoat. There's no like, oh yeah, I had to do something for him, so he did something for me, and then it was like, oh, like it's just like you say, it's organic. It's natural.
It's
like
organically growing, man.
Yes,
it's beautiful.
It really is, bro.
Yeah.
So, what's next with the music, bro? What's going on with the music, bro?
I've been a little quiet.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm asking. I'm like, I know how it is. I know how it is.
I was dropping monthly for about a year and some change. Probably. Like at least, I was dropping a bunch of remixes like throughout the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I would drop either EP or single monthly. But I'm on like a few months hiatus, but I'm always creating. But
Always.
we've been working on the back end, man, just getting everything situated so we could have that push, that outreach. We have a project coming out the 29th. It's called SOS. So yeah, we've
Project like EP, album, multiple tracks.
I say project because it's an EP. I'm gonna call it an EP, but like I said, the records they hold weight.
Yeah.
Like I'm real strategic into what I put out, and it's always based off how I feel and the seasons, like seasons of life and seasons in the environment as well. Like I feel we're all beings of this earth, and we sprout at different times, right? Just like plants. Like I never really got astrology and like when you're born and whatnot. I was like, man, that shit's all relatable. You know what I mean? But then my common denominator is nature.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, everyone is born in a different time of the year. You have different traits, different qualities. You know what I mean? Same with the fruits, and there's different seasons of harvest and different times flowering and whatnot. So I'm like, yeah, it makes sense now to me. We have different characteristics based on the season of life and that connectedness back to ourselves and just life as a whole. So I move with the seasons as well, and I'm aware of that. So with the music and how I put that out to the world, I was like, all right, we're going to drop a project, SOS, and it's just kind of about staying afloat, keep swimming, keep doing your thing.
Yeah.
And it's 4 records on there.
Dope.
It's very different sonically from things that I've dropped. Like I just got one record after hearing it, we was like, man, this just sounds like Sade could be on this. Like it's just flowing.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking forward to really sharing this with the world, cause we just constantly growing and trying new things, trying new sounds, like just things that we've never heard of, and I don't really consume much of what is being output musically into the world. Like I do dib and dabble, or I live and hear what's circulating through.
Yeah.
But I just really let life inspire what I create for myself. So I always look forward to seeing how the world receive it and
it's organic
and who it connect with. Yeah.
I like that, bro. I like that.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That's love for real. I like your whole, the whole message, the whole meaning, the whole, everything that is, Koomase, everything that is KOOMS. Like everything is very, like I see what you're doing and the value that you're trying to bring to people. You know what I mean? In a real life mentality, but pairing it with the music, pairing it with community, pairing it with the meanings of your brand and the enterprise and all this, and just trying to build this higher elevation for yourself, your team, and other people who are going to choose to consume your brand. You know what I mean?
Thank you. And that's why I respect you too, man, because you've also been building community and doing everything not in just a selfless way. You know what I mean? You giving back, and man, you connecting with so many people and sharing your art. And Seventh Heaven, just when you break down what you represent in your space and what you want to provide and give out, is parallel as well, man.
Yeah,
like,
no, exactly.
So,
and very similar missions. So
yeah.
I appreciate that. And that that's. I mean, I'll say it again. It's always about what can I provide? How much can I provide to people through what I do, to where it comes to a point that people just want to be a part of it, by nature, just because they want to consume what it's about. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think getting people to that point only comes by you being selfless and trying to really give back and bring a higher purpose or a higher, just value to what it is that you do, rather than like, yo, stream my music,
Right.
yo, buy my shirts, yo, do this, like there's
Right.
got to be a deeper
Yeah.
meaning and
How?
a sentiment behind it to really, build the community, because without community, artists are nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're
Exactly.
just people who
How do you
who write and
feel?
make music.
How do you feel as an artist? Because right, we're always trying to find a target audience or whatnot when they call it what they call it. But how do you feel you truly connect with those people that resonate with the message that are part of what you're creating, that space?
Yeah.
Where do you feel you find them?
To be honest, I think it's a really good question, but I think it's not in the sense of where I find them in the aspect or in the sense of like I'm searching for them, but more in the conscious decisions in the everyday process and consistency of what I'm doing and what I'm creating and what I'm outputting is going to be received in a way that people would want to come and find me by themselves. You know what I
Right.
mean? If that makes sense.
The
like,
law of attraction.
yeah, exactly. Very law of attraction type
Right.
stuff. And that's why it's like I do everything that I do on the, the podcast to, provide value, to allow people to listen in, or, give other people a platform to share, to connect, the fitness, like
Yeah.
inspire someone to change their life, be healthier, whatever that is, or music,
Yeah.
impact someone by what they hear, make them feel a certain moment. And those are the things where I feel like it's not actively searching, but by what I'm outputting and what I'm distributing,
Yep.
it allows people to find it naturally and almost feel like they can be a part of it. You know what I mean?
Right. And what you're saying is a wide spectrum of things in life that you're putting out, that you're sharing, that you're giving.
Yes.
So that's just more doors for people to come through, like, and enter your world, your space.
Because that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You're trying to get more people to consume your stuff.
Right.
But it's doing it in an organic way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Having that, like, because it's one thing to be dialed in on just one thing in life, or whether that's your craft or your passion, and like doing it, like you said, the health and your creative outlet.
Yeah.
Just multiple things. It just adds to the character. It adds to what you're building. Like, yeah.
It just adds to the value of the brand. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because then it's more than just it's more than music. It's more than this.
Yeah.
It's more than that. And I mean, that's why I choose to consume anything that I choose to consume, is because I feel I get something out of it, whatever that may be. You know what I mean?
Right.
And to provide that same experience to somebody in a multitude of ways across different platforms, across different variations, is something that I'm really passionate about, because I think it's very impactful. It's really important to do that. Like, you owe that to the world, and you owe that to people to provide something for them, especially if you're asking for something in return. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I feel even like without asking or doing without return, or doing something without looking for a return, like when you're being of service, like serving, you're not even looking for a return, but serving and giving the gift that you were given. Everyone has a gift. I feel that's when you really just step into who you fully are, and meet people that you're supposed to meet. Like, everyone has a gift, and when you give that gift, that's when you just see things unfolding organically, like we're talking about.
Exactly. If you guys can't tell, organic is a real theme. It's a real theme of this podcast. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to pause real quick. I gotta pee so bad. I gotta pee so bad. We'll be right back, guys. I gotta piss. Oh, sorry, guys. We're back. I had to pee so bad, but okay. I want to move into a couple sets of questions. Actually,
let's do it.
So, number one, because I'm just curious, what would you say? Like, what's next for you? Like if
What's
you,
next?
what's next? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you got to have a plan, a vision of like
Yeah.
how you want things to move and to
Yeah.
continue to go. So like
It's
what's next for you? You know
it's
what I mean?
honestly the enterprise, like we were saying, building a space for other creatives. You know what I mean, and really eating off the craft. Because as a musician, you don't get anything off of streams. You don't.
Nah, unless you stream
No,
and
you know what
streaming.
I mean.
Unless you stream and
So
streaming.
you have to really build the enterprise, build the brand.
Yeah.
So that's what's next. I'm looking at some creative spaces to
Oh, okay.
bring people together.
Like
and
creative
then-
studio type
right,
vibe or
right. Like
okay,
where
okay.
we have, is it recording, collaborating with KOOMS? So we
Yeah.
have a space where you can come shoot, photo shoots, videos, and then artists that I know as well that are painting or whatever they
Yeah.
do, come put something in the studio. Just a creative hub.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the main goals that we're already on that journey and learning, how to use other people's monies, get funded.
Yeah, totally.
And just the real business aspect to everything and
Yup.
excel in that, to really eat, to feed the family.
Yes.
And, have people reaping fruit from what they're creating.
Big time.
So yeah, that, and then just more community events. I have this festival I've been planning it for about 2 years in my mind and on some paper here and there.
Yeah.
But I've just known I needed to build relationships. So now,
To make that possible.
Yeah. So now we have been, thankfully, you know what I mean? And because there's a lot to it. Like I said, you need people to make things happen.
You have to.
bro.
You can't do
So-
this shit by yourself.
No, man. So, I've been fortunate to connect and meet people, and it's been love. So, yeah, we're planning Flowation Festival.
Hell yeah.
And, yeah, so those are like some big goals. And personally, as an artist, man, just picking up some instruments and
Okay.
adding to my character, like who I am, because that reflects into everything.
For
bruh.
sure.
With anything I'm doing or putting out, it stems from who I am down to the core, to the roots.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
So adding to my character with the knowledge, education, and experiences, you know what I mean? Like I'm looking to even get into some martial arts, like just
Yep.
really adding
Yeah.
to who I am, and then trickle that down into everything that I'm doing.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you gotta have you gotta have the I don't like calling them vices because they're not vices, but you gotta have the other experiences or hobbies or just aspects to your daily life that adds to the image, the
Yeah.
essence of who you are. You know what I mean? Like you gotta
Yeah.
have that shit.
Yeah,
You gotta
I
have
was
it.
telling one of my brothers, man, because he's like, man, I used to be so into cars. Now I don't really care about it. I used to be so into this. Now I don't really care about it. And it's my photographer. And now, this man loves photography. Like, so he was like, I don't know if this is something I really love or, just something else, another cycle.
Yeah.
But I was telling him, like, man, everything that you've done, the cars, all that, it just adds to your character. Like, you still have that knowledge. You can still do this and that from whatever else you've done outside of photography. It's just adding to your character. So I feel like a lot of people, you know what I mean?
When you say character, do you mean adding to the your character as far as like a human being, like your character,
of who you are.
or I was gonna say, or are you implying it in the way of like your character as you as like a personality, an artist? You know what I mean? Like,
I feel it's just as a whole, who you are. Like, yeah, to your actual character, who you are and how you go about your day and live your life, but just as a whole,
Yeah.
who you are, like it's all adding to your character. Like, you build somebody on Madden or, you know what I mean, NBA, 2K, whatever. Like, build yourself.
Yeah.
What are you going to add to that? What,
Yeah, facts.
yeah.
Facts. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That festival sounds fun, bro. I have to pop out to that.
You're there, bro.
That sounds fun, bro.
Yeah.
Big time. That sounds
I'm gonna
fun.
keep you in the loop.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Yeah.
I'd love to pull up, bro. Love to
Yes,
support.
sir.
So I have another question. This is can be a difficult question, but it's I call it the one life advice question.
Mm.
So I always put it in the position of if you had somebody that was sitting next to you that was a fan of you or wanted to do music or just do something like you're doing, and they was like, how do I do this? Give me a piece of advice. You know what I mean? Like, what would be a one piece of life advice that you could give to somebody if someone asked you? Like, what would that piece of advice be?
Yeah. Funny thing is, like, 2 nights ago, I was asked, like, what is the biggest quote, like, or the most impactful quote that you've received?
Look
And
at
I
that,
was just,
divine timing.
man, I was just like, man, what is it? And I'm still kind of going through it. Honestly, I would really say it's just I have a bunch of quotes in my phone. Honestly, like part of me, I know I looked at one today that did resonate. Kind of want to check it right now.
I was like, check
Let
it.
me check. Yeah,
Check
let
it.
me, cause it
Pull
might
it
be the
up.
one.
Yeah,
It might be the one,
check
but
it.
cause I was pondering on this, bro, for a minute. Like
You a big quotes guy? You like?
I guess here and there, if it resonates, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna use organic again. That would be the easy way out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Be
But
organic, guys.
just
Be organic.
man. Nah.
He's pulling up
Man.
the quote on his phone for those who are listening.
Man.
We're trying to find
I
it.
say okay. This one resonate, but I say imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attraction. I guess that does sum up like anything you imagine, everything that we're seeing, everything here came from imagination.
Yeah. Someone had to create it.
For us, yeah.
Yeah.
For people as a person, like, you know what I mean, you can do whatever you put your mind to. So just match that with your actions and let life align you.
That's the hard part though for a lot of people is aligning it with actions. They have the thought or it's a great idea, but it comes down to the execution and the actions that sometimes doesn't hit for a lot of people. And it's hard. I know it is. Like this shit is hard. Yeah. Doing anything creative or independent and all this, just creating a community, a brand, however you want to do that, like it's hard. It is, yeah. It's really hard.
And you know, when you starting out, when things haven't blown up yet or whatnot, like when you're on that consistent path and it's really just you and you got the team, but at the end of the day, you got to do it. You know what I mean? Like you're not clocked into a boss who's like, hey man, you know, I need you to get this done. He's going to come check if you did it.
Mm-hmm.
Like this path, you got to do it on your own. Check in on yourself. Make sure you're getting that done. Stay organized. And it all relies on you. That's it. So
I say that all the time. It is up to you to get done what needs to get done.
Yeah.
No one is going to do it for you, especially if this is the route that you chose. Like, tough shit, that's the reality.
Yeah,
if you ain't willing to commit to that, then you should have never started. Damn, well, fucking, it's good. What did we? Yeah, we're almost at, honestly, about an hour between the different clips. So we're going to, kind of wrap shit up here.
Sir.
You know the deal, but doesn't say you got any final words? You got any stuff you want to announce? People to tap in with you?
Yeah. So first of all, man, peace and love. That's give love, give peace. My name is Koomase. I'm on all platforms. That's KOOMASAE. Like we spoke about, man. We doing the music. We have the EP SOS coming out. Make sure y'all tune into that. The KOOMS apparel, perspective is everything. Drop also coming here within the next few weeks, or it might be out by the time this airs. But yeah, just stay tuned. There's a whole lot coming.
Yeah.
Y'all all welcome to join the community, man.
Yeah, for real. Tap
in,
in,
guys.
Tap
me.
in.
It's all love.
Tap in. Yeah, I'll put all your links and everything.
I hope to meet, people that resonate out in person, real talk.
Exactly. That's always the best, is connecting with people who resonate, bro.
Exactly, brother. But I appreciate you.
Nah,
having
bro.
me.
I'll put all your links, just socials. You send me any links, websites, YouTube, whatever you want. It'll be all in the description.
Yes.
So all you guys can tap in and
click of a fingertip. Not even a click, just
a tap.
A tap.
A tap. It's just
tap of the thumb.
Don't even have to press. It's just a tap.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, for real, guys, you guys should tap in with this dude. For real, he's a real dude. Love what he's doing. Love what he's about. You guys should definitely join in, man.
Love, brother.
For real.
I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you coming on. I'm glad we got to talk and catch up. Been way too long. My God, almost 3 years is ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Sir.
But guys,
everybody continue to show this man love. He's doing great things. And yeah, thank you. Like I said, peace and love.
Peace and love,
Close
bro.
it out, brother.
I appreciate that, bro. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in again. Episode number 24. I'm so excited that we're 24 back on the podcast. Can't wait, guys. I appreciate you guys listening and watching. I love you guys as always. We'll see you guys soon. That's it. That's it. All right, guys. Lights.